A fraud scheme worth $400 million.
This 2 years after Contact 5 investigator Katie LaGrone exposed how the scam worked.
To who? You have to have done it to someone, but there's no effort at all to uncover that.
I thought he should have been ashamed of himself. Then I watched Floyd Money Mayweather with Jim Gray, and I said, wait a minute, I smell something. Something seems a bit fishy.
No, money is what you smelled.
I smelled something.
Joe Rogan was left visibly stunned during a recent podcast episode as breaking news emerged that boxing legend Floyd Mayweather is being sued for his alleged involvement in a staggering $402 million fraud scheme. Known for his unfiltered takes and deep dives into celebrity scandals, Rogan couldn't hide his disbelief as details unfolded about the lawsuit, which accuses Mayweather of orchestrating a massive financial con involving false investments and deceptive partnerships.
Floyd Mayweather. He's the only guy who's been able to just be balling out of control, constantly flashing money, $1 million watches, a fleet of super expensive cars, and still fucks everybody up. The thing about Floyd is he never lost his discipline. Floyd would famously run home from the nightclub. So he would go out in Vegas, he'd be partying, it would look like a party, he's drinking water, and then he would have his driver drive, and with his pants on, jeans on, he would jog home. And the dude was always training.
Joe Rogan, a prominent voice in combat sports commentary, has extensively analyzed Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s boxing career and fighting style over the years. Rogan's insights provide a comprehensive view of Mayweather's evolution as a boxer and his standing in the sport.
I mean, he fought Logan Paul. Logan Paul weighs 200 plus pounds.
And he turned the shit out of Logan Paul's neck. Like
Crazy.
Like, wow. And I think he held him up like, hey, man, don't fall because you're going to mess the money up.
If they were the same size, I think Floyd would have knocked him out. Logan was so big.
Oh,
he was so much bigger than it.
But them shots, though, was
it's so crazy to see a guy who is the best boxer of all time having a fight with this super athletic, gigantic YouTube kid. I mean, look at the size difference. It's insane.
In the early stages of his career, Mayweather was known as Pretty Boy due to his defensive prowess, which allowed him to avoid significant damage in fights. Rogan has noted that during this period, Mayweather showcased exceptional speed and offensive skills, often overwhelming opponents with rapid combinations. This phase highlighted Mayweather's ability to dominate fights with both aggression and technical skill.
One of the things that people forget is that Floyd went through a big transition of his own. If you go back to the early parts of his career and you watch when he was Pretty Boy Floyd, he was a much more aggressive fighter and he would put himself in danger much more. And then when he became Money Mayweather, just got so much more brilliant defensively. And then he became the guy that you see shutting out Canelo Alvarez, stopping all these guys, just shutting everything down. He just became this defensive wizard.
As Mayweather progressed in his career, he adopted the money persona, emphasizing a more defensive and strategic approach. Rogan has praised this transition, emphasizing Mayweather's mastery in minimizing damage while effectively controlling fights. He stated, "That's why for my money, Floyd Mayweather is the best ever because he's the guy that got hit the least. He's exactly the right amount of aggressive to win." The thing that's crazy about Floyd is that he does stand right in your face. He does stand in your face and you still can't hit him.
Floyd Mayweather used to be having these crazy workouts and he would crack open a Pepsi and people are like, what the f is he doing? Like, he's crazy. That guy never drank, never partied, never was out of shape, never got fat, would run home from the club at 2 o'clock in the morning. If boxing is hit and don't get hit, who's better than Floyd? Right. 0 people. He definitely cracked him at the end of that round and wobbled him. And then it was right at the bell. And so then Floyd got back on his bike and started outboxing him.
Is Ali the same fighter that got beat by a fighter with 7 fights? Every time boxing come on, you don't bring up Muhammad Ali name. You don't bring up Mike Tyson name. You always bring up Floyd Mayweather name because I'm still the face of boxing.
When you think about Floyd talking about greater than Ali, he's very delusional. Listen, he can't take his kid to school by himself. And he talking about he's great. He's a little scared man. Greatness is not guarding yourself from the people. Greatness is being accepted by the people.
Ali Bomaye, that means Ali kill him.
Joe Rogan believes that many people dislike Floyd Mayweather Jr. because of his flamboyant displays of wealth and his brash persona. The Joe Rogan Experience, Rogan noted that Mayweather often showcases his luxurious lifestyle, highlighting his $1 million watches, private jets, and opulent homes, which can come across as arrogant and provoke envy among fans. Rogan explained, "They like watching him fight because they hate him. He creates envy, and you want him to lose, but he's not gonna." Despite this, Rogan acknowledged Mayweather's exceptional discipline and work ethic behind the scenes, suggesting that his public image is a calculated part of his success.
And one of the reasons why people watch him fight is not because he's like Mike Tyson, just goes out and destroys people. They like watching him fight because they hate him. Because he talks so much shit, and he's like, look at my $1 million watch, look at my fucking jet, look at my house, look at this. He's like constantly showing you all these things that he has. Like he'll lay out watches in a hotel bed, like this is $1 million worth of watches. This watch goes for $2 million. And they're like, this is my small watch that I take sometimes, but I want to show you, when I show up, I bring out the big boy, and it brings out this watch that's covered in diamonds. It's like $5 million. And so you hate him.
You feel that disappointment that the fans felt that maybe you didn't get the best Manny Pacquiao that night?
We're not going to do that. We're not going to talk about that. You was one of the guys that believed in Pacquiao.
I did.
Okay. So now we don't want you to back out the block. And I told you before, that was easy work. So if you believe in Pacquiao, you need to go back and say, you need to sit down and do a story and say, you know what? I believe in Pacquiao, and it's his fault. It's not Mayweather's fault, because Mayweather did what he always do. Be a calculated fighter, be a smart fighter, and find a way to win.
And I did that because I said that although there was a problem with his shoulder, whether it existed or not, I always said there was no. Wait.
Floyd was great, but he didn't want smoke with Winky. Yeah, he didn't want smoke with Winky. He didn't want smoke with Triple G either. But there are people who look at that situation and be like, I mean, that's crazy. But that's what the great ones do. They do crazy shit. But Floyd did enough crazy stuff, though. Listen, I don't have that much criticism towards Floyd. I just don't think he's as great as everyone say. He's the greatest ever. That's silly talk to me. But he was jaw-dropping great. The impact of Floyd is my thing, and that's not criticism on Floyd. That's criticism on followers. So everybody followed what they perceived to be his blueprint. That's my criticism. It's never Floyd.
During his exhibition bout against John Gotti III in Mexico City, Floyd Mayweather made headlines by replacing the referee mid-fight after a disputed call. The original referee warned Mayweather for an alleged illegal hit, prompting Mayweather to push the referee and demand his removal. A new referee was brought in, and the fight continued, with Mayweather being unofficially declared the winner.
So Floyd Mayweather just got done with the boxing match against John Gotti III, and well, in the boxing match, specifically in the second round, Floyd Mayweather kicked out a ref, and they replaced it with a new one because the ref took too long pausing the fight. Let me know in the comments if this is one of the craziest things you've seen in a boxing match.
In another instance, Joe Rogan highlighted Floyd's power by telling the story of how Mayweather allegedly fired a referee in the middle of a fight. Rogan emphasized that such a move could only be pulled off by someone like Floyd, who's at the very top of boxing, both in terms of fame and influence. This moment again shows how deeply Floyd's money impacts every corner of his career.
The referee said Floyd Mayweather hit him behind the head. So Floyd fired the referee in the middle of the bout. Floyd throws this punch, and he's 100% correct. The punch landed the side of the head. It's a right hook. It's a perfect punch. And the referee was saying, watch the back of the head. He's like, what the f are you talking about? And so he kicks the guy out, and they bring in a different referee who finishes the fight. It was insanity.
According to Rogan, Floyd's unmatched competitiveness came from his upbringing. His father and uncle were both deeply competitive and taught him to push himself in everything he did. This shaped him into the dominant fighter he became in his prime. However, this competitive nature also seems to have spilled into how he approaches business and wealth today.
You'll just look at boxing in terms of like how often do you get hit versus how often do you hit the other guy. He's the best ever. The way him and his uncle and his father talk, I imagine they were always super competitive from the time they were young.
Yeah.
Like he grew up being they're super competitive. They're competitive about talking shit. They're competitive about all kinds of things. So it's like that hive, like growing up with that all the time and the boxing skill.
Mayweather has claimed he earns $300 million per month through smart investments, particularly in real estate. He stated, "In 32 months, I put myself in a position with a smart business team to make $300 million a month. It all started from the sport of boxing." While Mayweather has earned substantial sums from high-profile fights and exhibitions, financial experts question the plausibility of such consistent monthly income. Critics argue that these figures are likely exaggerated, as sustaining a hundreds of million monthly income would require unprecedented and highly profitable investments.
And Floyd Mayweather says he makes $300 million a month, which is $3.6 billion a year. He makes more money than Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, all of those guys. So I say all that to say this. the money that Canelo was looking for, you know, they can easily come up with that money. Floyd Mayweather got it.
Well, listen, let me put it this way to you. If he makes what did he say, 300 million a month?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm 6'4" and 240. And I know I'm 5'8" and a half and 240. So there you go. There's no way. There's that. If he makes $3 million a month on his investments, that's a lot. 36 million a year. That's a lot. So I know guys that are worth, $500-600 million, plenty of them, and they don't make $36 million a year, let alone 300 million a month. So there you go.
Mayweather may be exaggerating or misrepresenting his role in the deal to maintain his image as a wealthy mogul. Furthermore, financial experts note that such a large-scale transaction typically involves institutional investors or development firms, not individual buyers without a clear paper trail. This skepticism raises important questions about Mayweather's actual financial status and whether his flashy lifestyle is supported by real assets or crafted public relations. For now, the truth behind the $400 million claim remains uncertain, and scrutiny continues to grow.
Floyd Mayweather Jr., there's a story circulating that Business Insider did talking about this $400 million property deal that he had been discussing here in New York City. But now, according to Business Insider, it's not what you think it is. They said there's no evidence there's been a sale of these properties, and it's 62 rental apartment buildings in Upper Manhattan. Here is what Floyd Mayweather had said at the time on a video that he posted on his Instagram.
I love bringing the people into my lifestyle, showing the people how I live. Now, I know you guys see me on a regular talking about real estate. Well, lately I purchased 62 apartment buildings in New York City. And what I need you guys to do, slide over and check out the photos. It's not all 62 buildings, it's a few buildings, but guess what? All the buildings belong to me. I don't have no partners. And all the retail down low on my buildings all belong to me. Guess what? You can do the same.
All right. Well, now we're trying to figure out what happened, right, with Business Insider. So according to another update, he did ink a $402 million deal for a Black Spruce portfolio. When he said that it was all his and no one invested, he meant no one was funding his part of the investment but him. And so I think this is something where maybe he owns a piece of this or shares in it, but it hasn't changed hands because the majority owner is still the same owner that it was before. I'm trying to understand what happened with this, but I know there's a story that's circulating, so just putting it out there. Whew, it's a tough one. I'm trying to understand as a real estate person myself what exactly he is communicating when he's saying that he owns this, because they're trying to make it seem like he doesn't, but what it seems like is that he owns shares of these buildings, and it's a larger, it's part of an investment that he did on his own.
A member of Floyd Mayweather's team, speaking off the record, added fuel to the growing skepticism by revealing that there is no known investment partner involved in the alleged Manhattan real estate deal. This statement directly contradicted public speculation that Mayweather might be part of a joint venture or silent partnership with a larger firm. Instead, they claimed that Floyd is portraying himself as the sole buyer, despite the scale of the transaction raising eyebrows within real estate circles.
Of his team spoke off the record, and they actually tried to modify the story a little bit to get ahead of it. So it went from we own all the buildings with no partners to now their story is changing up a little bit. So they reached out to the Housing Partnership, a spokesperson. Now, the Housing Partnership of NYC is a nonprofit group that is a partner in a majority of these like really huge like property deals. And it helps, the person buying it to qualify for tax breaks and grants and preserve the affordability of the portfolio apartments, right? If you're buying, affordable housing, then you're going to go through the NYC Housing Partnership. That never happened, okay? So the spokesperson says the Housing Partnership has not been advised of any sale, pending sale, or change in ownership. Generally, the partnership would be advised of the transfer and would be party to the transfer. That has not occurred. A person directly... Now, here's where Mayweather get on that BS, bruh. All right, here's where the shady business starts.
Joe Rogan has consistently praised Floyd Mayweather's boxing style, emphasizing his unparalleled defensive skills and strategic approach in the ring. Rogan often highlights Mayweather's ability to control the pace of a fight, making opponents miss while capitalizing on their mistakes. He notes that Mayweather's footwork, timing, and ring IQ are exceptional, allowing him to outmaneuver even the most aggressive challengers. Rogan has remarked that Mayweather's style is a masterclass in technical boxing, showcasing the art of hitting without getting hit.
You know, one of the things that people forget is that Floyd went through a big transition of his own. If you go back to the early parts of his career and you watch when he was Pretty Boy Floyd, he was a much more aggressive fighter and he would put himself in danger much more. And then when he became Money Mayweather, like as it got later and later in his life, he just got so much more brilliant defensively. And then he became the guy that you see shutting out Canelo Alvarez, stopping all these guys, just shutting everything down. He just became this defensive wizard to the point where you'd see world-class fighters like Sugar Shane Mosley. Once he recovered, he didn't really know what to do with Floyd. Floyd just had the answers to his style. He had figured him out.
This disciplined and calculated approach has not only kept Mayweather undefeated, but also redefined what it means to be a defensive genius in boxing. Rogan's admiration underscores Mayweather's status as one of the sport's all-time greats, whose style combines finesse, intelligence, and an unwavering commitment to excellence.
Floyd's undefeated too, but he's not the greatest boxer of all time, right?
It's arguable he is. It's arguable he is.
I don't think so.
Listen, man,
I feel like he is. He's my
hit,
favorite.
He's been hit hard maybe 4 times his whole fucking career.
Right.
You stop and think about how many fights he fought against
great
elite
defense.
guys. Not just great defense, like the best defense of all time. You're talking about a guy who's fought everybody. He fought everybody. He fought Canelo. He fought Pacquiao. Maybe he didn't fight Pacquiao when he was in his prime. And maybe he fought Canelo when he was young and made him cut extra weight. He did some smart shit. But at the end of the day...
That's part of being a fighter, though, right?
Yeah, at the end of the day, the fucking guy's 49 in Conor McGregor. That's what he is. That's what I say.
The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission charged both celebrities for unlawfully promoting securities, leading to Mayweather paying $614,775 in penalties and Cud paying $152,725. Meanwhile, Centratech's founders, including Sohrab Sharma, were arrested and later sentenced for wire fraud and conspiracy after duping investors out of nearly $25 million.
Kim Kardashian and Floyd Mayweather are being sued over an alleged crypto pump and dump scam. Investors are accusing the celebrities of promoting a no-name crypto called Ethereum Max.
Do your homework, do your research.
I would not move forward with an endorsement that a celebrity had recommended just on the fact that they were a celebrity.
Kajenwa Moit teaches branding and marketing at Parsons School of Design at the New School.
You know, they did what every scammer would normally do, which is to name it after something that is trusted. In fact, what we came to find is Ethereum Max has nothing to do with Ethereum. It doesn't even sit on the Ethereum blockchain, but it's a way of duping people.
Kim Kardashian promoted the coin on Instagram, asking, "Are you guys into crypto? This is not financial advice," and names Ethereum Max.
Kim Kardashian's case, it was declared on the Instagram post that it was a paid promotion.
Floyd Mayweather endorsed the coin at a boxing match with YouTube star Logan Paul,
This is the best day of my life.
accepting the coin as payment for boxing tickets.
Trying to buy celebrity names to promote their assets. And so the ultimate question is, should someone who's being paid for promoting a product be ultimately held accountable?
Crypto and blockchain attorney Felix Shipkevich says the celebs are only doing their job of promotion. He gave an example of a celebrity promoting a car advertisement.
You know, sometime down the road, this EV has major issues, goes up in flames, or the brakes stop working. Are we going to end up suing that celebrity?
Floyd Mayweather has built an entire persona around his extravagant lifestyle. From flashy cars to custom jewelry and stacks of cash, he never shies away from flaunting his wealth. Mayweather's flashy lifestyle has always been a part of his brand, but his financial dealings haven't always been spotless. While he's undoubtedly made a fortune through his legendary boxing career, endorsements, and business ventures, there have been instances where his involvement in promotions has raised ethical concerns.
Into my life. I appreciate the support. I appreciate the love. I have to bring you guys into my life on a daily basis. Check it out. Check out my view again. Once again, I should say. The Michael Jackson steps.
What do you think about Floyd Mayweather's impressive career and unique fighting style? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.